It's nice to see all of you here this morning, and at this time, we'll have a prayer led by Commissioner Morgan, who's on the telephone with us today, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for all the blessings that you have given us. We would ask that you would guide and direct this meeting today to do your will, and we would ask that you would especially be with all those workers on the front line as they work to combat the COVID virus. Be with those who are ill and their families, praying especially for Cassie Johnson and her family, all of which we ask in the name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for
which
which it stands,
One
nation,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We all did our thing, even if we were not in sync.
It's not the first time we haven't been in sync, is it?
That's very true, very true. I want to welcome all of you here this morning, and at this time, we'll call this meeting of the Cabell County Commission to order. And the first item on the agenda is the December 10th, 2020 regular commission agenda we need to approve.
move to approve. Kelly.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next would be approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting October 8th, 2020.
So move.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have approval of the erroneous assessments, land consolidation, split tickets, probate documentation, county clerk's probate office.
I'll move to approve.
Motion's been
Okay.
made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item would be approval of purchase orders number 21-100928 through 21-101138. Pay jackets, monthly payments to Fifth Third for fuel card purchases.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is citizens registered to speak, and we do not have anyone registered to speak today. But if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak on any topic that's not on our agenda, you're welcome to do so at this time. Okay. We'll move right on then to a petition to appoint the sheriff of Cabell County, West Virginia, to serve as administrator of the estate of Stephen Starr.
The estate of Stephen Starr, there's more than 60 days have passed and nobody has come forward to ask to be appointed. And Stephen Starr is a beneficiary of the estate of Larry Garrett, and that's the people who have brought this petition to have the sheriff appointed, because he's a beneficiary under that estate, and since there's nobody that's come forward to seek to be appointed, the petition is asking that the sheriff be appointed. So would be my recommendation to allow that to take place.
I have a question,
All right?
Kelly. I noticed that there were two siblings, to the deceased. Has there been any efforts to try to contact them? I know that it was stated that they never came forward, but they may not know to come forward. I'm just wondering if there was any efforts to reach out. It says that one lives in Quincy, Florida, and one lives in Huntington.
Right. Kelly, I can't tell you whether that took place or not. I assume they would have tried to reach him. And they would certainly be aware of the passing of their relatives. So if they wanted to serve, they could have certainly appeared and asked to be appointed.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your pleasure with that item?
We need a motion to appoint the sheriff.
So moved.
Motion's been made,
Second.
has been seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item is a resolution with the Cabell Huntington Health Department severance of service level agreement with the West Virginia Division of Personnel. And we're getting them on the phone right now to talk to us about this.
Welcome to Beacon Live Conferencing. Please enter your conference ID followed by the number sign. That is not a valid passcode. Please re-enter your passcode now followed by the pound sign. Please enter your... Other callers on the call. At any time, press star for... Please announce yourself.
Kelly Savonia?
His Royal Highness James Morgan.
Nancy Cartmell.
Hello, Your Highnesses. It's Mike Kilken at the Health Department. We have
You're
in
the
our
guy.
room,
Fouling things up.
we have Jack Neese, our accountant here. We also have Administrator Tim Hazlett. He just stepped out. We're trying to find Dr. Yingling to hopefully join this also.
Okay.
Should we just go ahead and start?
Yes, if you'd like to just start explaining the resolution, that would be great.
Okay, I don't actually have the resolution in front of me, but what the situation is that the Division of Personnel, what we call the DOP, is a government agency. In case you're not aware, if you are fully aware of what the DOP is, I'll be happy to skip that section. But they're essentially a human resources agency that we contract with to provide HR services. A lot of state agencies do, but not all, and most health departments contract with them. And that's especially if you're a smaller health department and you don't have your own human resources department. The Cabell Huntington Health Department, on the other hand, is a larger health department. We are also still one of just 2 accredited health departments in the state. And to be an accredited health department, you have to demonstrate to the accrediting body that you have the ability to recruit, choose, retain your workforce, that you essentially have to have a functioning human resources department in your health department. And we do that. We are finding ourselves doing all of the work and then just having our decisions second guessed by the DOP after our Board of Health makes those decisions. So we're finding that the DOP is really a redundant service, and we presented to the board that we felt that we could provide human resources at our health department more effectively, more efficiently, and make better use of our taxpayer dollars, most of which come from the county, if we would sever our service level agreement with the DOP and provide those services ourselves. And we would start doing that probably in February. So the reason that we're coming to you is that to sever a service level agreement with the DOP, state law requires that the decision of the Board of Health be approved, I think is the right word, by the appointing body. That's why we're with the county commission today, and if the county County Commission agrees with the Board of Health, we'll be presenting to the City Council next Monday. Those are the two appointing bodies, or the two appointing entities for our Board of Health. So basically, the Board of Health has passed a resolution to end our service level agreement with the DOP, and we're asking you to agree and approve that.
Okay, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions of Dr. Kilkenny?
Yeah, I do have some questions. This is Kelly Savonia calling by phone.
Okay,
Yeah.
First of all, how many county health departments or boards of health are part of the DOP? And how many do the HR
There
themselves?
are, I think there are 49 health departments, local health departments, and 47 currently have a DOP contract. There are 2 that have ended their agreement.
And what's in the place of those agreements? I know, like the resolution, in reading over it, it said that, I think it's in the 7th paragraph, but it says that the Cabell County Commission understands that the West Virginia Code 16-211 requires that a merit system be created for the Cabell Hampton Health Department as part of its departure. Has that merit system been created yet?
That's a great question.
That would replace this?
That's a very important aspect of this, and Mr. Hazlett, would you like to discuss that?
Yes, so the merit system is currently in development right now, and that is the biggest issue. As Dr. Kilkenny shared, we are an accredited health department, which means we had to develop all of our internal human resource policy and procedures. The only thing that we have left to develop is a merit system, and that includes positions, pay scales, and how we're going to interview, hire, recruit all the individuals into the agency. The current issue that we're having right now is we have 8 vacancies in the agency. 5 of those vacancies are nurses, and the salary range with the Division of Personnel will not allow me to hire any nurse in this area due to the competing forces. So it's going to give us an opportunity to enhance our recruiting system and allow us to be competitive to recruit for the positions we have within the agency. So that will be developed pretty quickly. Once we have that established, it's going to be reviewed by our attorney and then also presented to the Board of Health for approval.
thank you.
Now, what about the other protections that fall under this agreement with the DOP? Like there's, certain benefits and protections, I would imagine, under the agreement that you have. I don't have a copy of the agreement that you have, but with the DOP, but I'm sure that there are protections for employees that go with that. Is that correct?
Yeah, let me try to answer that from a couple of different points. Certainly the DOP is a civil service employment HR type set of guidance. All of those protections are consistent with ethical hiring and management that we have the ability to offer here. There is one particular benefit that would be lost to our employees, and that is one of the reasons why we don't want to actually change over until February. While all of their retirement benefits, their vacation benefits, all of those benefits will remain the same. There will be no change whatsoever with that. They will no longer accrue seniority at the state level. currently working for us gains seniority at the local level and at the state level. But if we stop the service level agreement, there will be no more seniority generated at the state level while they're working for us. All of their previous seniority will be retained. And so we have given all of our employees who would want to maintain a career path at the state level the opportunity to transfer and maintain that seniority. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if there was anything that could go against the employees not having something else in place to, you know, fill the gap. I would imagine.
We actually operate under our existing employee handbook and the employee policies and those are all ours, and they're only reviewed and disputed by the DOP.
Now, what did you all have in place prior to August 11th, 2014, when you entered into that agreement? What was your system in place
I'm
then?
gonna give that to Mr. Hazlett.
Yeah, so state code allowed all the local health departments to be a member of the West Virginia Division of Personnel. In that time frame, the West Virginia Division of Personnel under Director Sarah Walker was going to remove all the local health departments from the Division of Personnel system. And after further discussion, the authorization was made to allow each individual health department to sign a service level agreement if they wish to continue under the Division of Personnel rules and policies. And at that time, we weren't prepared to move away from the Division of Personnel and agree to sign the service level agreement and continue forward until we could find that time that was most beneficial to the agency.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes me nervous when we're thinking about doing away with some civil service protections for employees and not having, having to be able to see the merit system that will be created that isn't created yet. It just gives me a little bit of pause. I'm not saying I'm against what you're trying to do. I don't know, it just gives me a little bit of pause.
Yeah, this is Tim Hayes. So one of our objectives is to build a merit system that is more lucrative to our employees here. We have no intention of cutting any benefits, have no intentions of having any negative impact on any employee, and that was one of the questions that the Board of Health actually made. So before anything will move forward with the merit system, it will have to have the approval of the Division of Personnel as well as our agency attorney. Both entities have requested a review before they approve that merit system. So it's not our intention to have any negative effect on employees whatsoever.
So actually, the Commission's approval of the board's action will not cause this to take effect. Anything that is required to be in place at the time will still go under further review, and it will not occur without that in place. So I hope that gives you the additional assurance.
Thank you. Are there any further questions?
Then we need a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Morgan. I'll second that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
Motion carries. Thank you so much, Dr. Kilkenny and Tim. We really appreciate your help this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Moving on to the next item is the matter of a resolution authorizing the signing of the grant contract between West Virginia Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority and the Cabell County Commission for the purpose of providing funding for the repair and painting of the fire escape of the west side of the courthouse. That money's already been allocated by the Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority. And do you have anything to say about that, Chad?
No, I don't think I could have said any more than was written in that sentence right there.
Okay, all right. We're gonna spend the money, that's what we're gonna do.
So moved.
Motion's been made.
Second.
It's been seconded.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item we have is a resolution in the matter of a resolution authorizing the signing of the grant contract between the West Virginia Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services Section, and the Cabell County Commission for the purpose of providing funding for the Victims Advocates Office.
So moved.
Motion's been
Second.
made. It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
I think we're on
I hear music. Yeah.
Motion carries. Did we lose Jim?
Did you move the meeting to an elevator? I hear elevator music.
I may have to call you back. I don't know how to end that without ending the whole thing.
Jim might be dancing by now.
And there's 20 people in the elevator.
Yeah, I had to hang up to get rid of that, so I'm telling her to call back. Okay, hang on just a minute. Let me get Jim back on the line.
Okay, thanks.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello, we lost ya.
Okay, are you both still there?
Kelly's here.
I'm trying to figure out where I am. I'm here.
Okay,
We hear you.
okay.
Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda. In the matter of a resolution authorizing the signing of the grant contract between the West Virginia Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services Section, and the Cabell County Commission for the purpose of providing funding for the Cabell County Drug Task Force Program.
So moved to approve.
Oh.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. The motion carries. Okay, moving on to the next, we have a final public hearing and approval request for Patriot Services Group, Inc. And we're gonna have to depend on Bill Watson, because I don't think we know very much about this.
This is a bond issue being issued by the Public Finance Authority, allowing the borrower to acquire, rehabilitate, and improve properties in Kanawha County and Cabell County. And in order to proceed with the project, the final approval of the bonds has to be given by the governmental entity having jurisdiction of the property project, which would be both Kanawha County and Cabell County Commission. It's tax exempt bonds, and they have to have a TEFRA notice to, which has been published, has to be published 7 days prior to the hearing here. And the purpose of the hearing today is just to address the audience, to see if there's anybody present who has any comments about the issuance of the bonds. We, the county, have no liability whatsoever. Our only responsibility is to approve the resolution to allow them to go forward.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak, either for or against? This is a public hearing. I think everybody's just like us, they really don't know what it's all about.
Well, Bill,
Yes, sir?
just curiosity, I guess. Well, obviously with nothing to do, glancing through the classifieds of the Charleston Gazette, I saw this, and the amount of bonds are, I realize, not on what we have before us, but did I not see something like $66 million worth of bonds?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Good luck.
Well,
Okay.
and it's for the benefit of improving and rehabilitating the properties that are listed in one of the exhibits attached to the documentation that's presented to us. I think, as I recall, there's 2 projects here in Cabell County.
Right.
And in order for them to go forward with the issuance of the bonds, they have to have the TEFRA notice, which is what we just did. And then, again, we would adopt a resolution approving the issuance of the bonds.
Do they then own these properties, or are they just,
They're going to acquire and rehabilitate them, so I presume, yeah, that they are
Okay.
purchasing, yeah.
well,
They are going to acquire them? I mean, with consent of the owners? I mean, how are they gonna acquire them? Through purchase or
Yes,
through?
it says the borrower plans to acquire and rehabilitate and improve the property, so I assume they're gonna take the bond money and buy the properties and then rehabilitate and improve them. And it's for the benefit of current and future tenants. of
Now, it
those-
says the project will be owned and operated by the borrower.
Yeah,
And one of them is Mark Allen Apartments on Pea Ridge,
Yeah, that's what I'm.
and the other
looking at.
is
somewhere on Pinecrest.
Pinecrest Drive in Huntington,
Right, correct.
or on Route 60 there. So we don't have anyone here that wanted to speak at the hearing. I think the record probably needs to show that. And we need to move forward and decide what we want to do because we have to adopt that resolution,
That's correct.
or not.
So we need a
do we
motion.
know who Patriot Services Group, where they are from, or who they are, or any of that kind of thing? Not that, I
Not,
don't know.
we don't have any, in the documentation, they don't say anything about them.
I wonder who owns McAllen Apartments and the Wedgewood Villa in Cabell.
Mark Allen, isn't that owned by,
I don't have a clue.
Assuming they're aware of this arrangement.
I know who that is. I can't remember.
It's been published in the newspaper. That, I saw it just like Jim did, in the newspaper.
Right,
I must have missed it.
The law firm is Dinsmore and Shaw.
right,
That's the law firm representing them.
out of Cincinnati. Again, there's no liability whatsoever on the commission. It's just we have to approve the issuance of the bonds so they can go forward.
Do we know if Kanawha County Commission has acted yet, or no?
They did, it was on that stuff I forwarded.
Yeah, they've already approved it. And that's where most of the projects were. There were a
Right.
whole lot more
Yeah, well, there's only
than
two.
what was in Cabell.
That's correct.
It's left up to what the commission wants to do with the resolution.
So
nothing like helping Kanawha County. I move we approve the resolution.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'm not sure, because it seems like they're wanting to issue bonds on property they don't yet own. Isn't that getting the cart before the horse?
No, they're taking the money to acquire the property.
That Patriot Services Group, I looked them up on the Secretary of State's website. And it says that, they've got a mailing address in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, process service address in California, principal office address is in Jacksonville. Christopher Walker is the director. All these are out of Jacksonville. Frederick Wheat Jr., director. So, it says that their effective date of the corporation was 11/18/2020.
They
Last
just
month.
formed the corporation last month?
What it looks like.
I'm not easy about this one, I'm sorry. If y'all wanna approve it, you can.
We do have a motion on the floor. It has not been seconded.
I'm not gonna second it.
I'm wondering if we could table it till we
Call in
feel,
or something.
we could table it till we feel more comfortable about what we're doing.
I need to, well, does somebody have to rescind their motion?
Well,
No, the motion died for lack of a second.
if we do that, the whole project is put on hold for them because they've published the notices.
Well, what happens if we leave it for 2 more weeks?
Well, they'd have to go through the whole process again as far as publication and notice and all that sort of thing.
Well, they've already had the public hearing here today. It's just a matter of whether the commission approves the resolution or not, as I understand
Well,
it.
that's true.
Probably gonna
So
renovate properties.
would this impede their effort or not if we wait for 2 more weeks?
Excuse me, Sheriff, what did you say?
I said they're probably gonna renovate those properties and increase their property value, and we're gonna get more taxes out of it. Seems like it,
Right.
just trying to acquire properties around Campbell and Kanawha County.
Well, they've obviously been approved for the tax credits and everything.
Right.
That's not the issue at all. And they're coming from the housing authority.
Public Housing Authority is the issuer, and finance, it's called the Public Finance Authority. And if Charleston has already done it, I mean, that would seem to imply that everything is in order.
Did you just say the public house, Mark Allen's are gonna come to public housing? I'm not understanding.
No, it's the bonds are being issued by the Public Finance Authority.
Oh, I thought you said public housing, I'm sorry.
No,
Mark Allen's already public housing. That went away from private years ago.
Who owns that, do you know?
I don't know, but I know when it used to be private, and it used to be a lot of higher end people lived there, and then it went public, and then it kind of bottomed out.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I didn't realize they'd done that.
Well, when I was in the office the other day and Beth was printing off that letter from them, they didn't even have like a mailing address, and it was kind of odd. She had to kind of look it up, didn't you, Beth?
Yeah, and I got ahold of Bill and he got me
for
the correct,
Densmore, you mean.
yeah,
That was for the,
he got me the correct number.
for Densmore Shoals address in Cincinnati.
Yeah, the letter came from the legal counsel, which is Densmore Stoll. And it didn't come from that company.
I just wonder why, if they want this, why they didn't send somebody. We
Well,
did a
they
public
asked.
hearing and she,
They asked if it was necessary to bring somebody, and given the background of what was going on, I didn't deem it was necessary for somebody from Cincinnati to come down here and be present, because they have outlined everything in great detail in the documentation that they sent us.
Evidently, Bill's been working with them. It's us that's kind of been bypassed, so I don't really know they didn't come directly to us, and I don't really know anything about it, was my concern. But, I don't know, I
So
think,
Bill,
go ahead.
Bill, oh, excuse me, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Bill, from the information we have, it would appear that a group of people, whoever, formed a corporation, Patriot Services, figured out that from taxpayer money, they could float bonds, or through that, probably acquire the listed properties, may have prior approval of that or may not, and remodel them, and would then have all of those listed properties available for rental, I would presume, if they're going to manage them, and pay off the bond.
Yes,
The rental of the property.
right, it's for the benefit of the current and future tenants. You're correct. And, you know, and they are tax exempt bonds, and in order to get the special
Right.
rate, they have to have that Tefler notice, which is what we went through today.
And who, is the backing of the bonds is, the assets of the property, or?
Well, the payment of the bonds is the sole responsibility of the borrower, so I would presume, like any bond issue that we've had here before, part of the collateral will probably would be deeds of trust or whatever, pledging the properties as collateral.
Well, I'm proud to know anybody that can issue bonds for $66 million.
That's,
That's a large amount of money. I guess I made the motion, didn't I, to approve it?
yes, sir?
Yes?
Okay.
And if
well,
that,
I'll leave it at that.
if you'd like to make that motion again, because it died for lack of a second, and we were talking about tabling, I will second it so we can move on.
Okay, I move we approve, resolution, which would be item number, 329, I
329.
guess.
And I'll second that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
No.
Motion carries. Okay. I would appreciate it if we had more information before we come into a public hearing that's been advertised that we didn't even know about. I mean, it just really puts us on the spot to
Give them
try
all
to get
this information.
all the answers. Well, I didn't see any of that till this week.
But it's been here a lot longer than that.
All right, let's move on to a letter from Irv Johnson, the Cabell County Assessor on sheep and goat tax, November 2020, $2.
I don't know, it's pretty controversial.
I think that's the biggest controversy on the agenda.
We'll use part of the $66 million to pay.
You can't even get a haircut for $2.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no, motion carries. Next item is Irv Johnson again with the dog fund, which is $46.40.
So move.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded.
I'll second. Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I
Next,
have a question about that, if I can just ask. We do this like $2, transferring $2 here and there. Is there any way that we can just do it once a year?
we
Or does it have
asked,
to be by
no,
statute?
we can't. We asked that question once before,
We did.
and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think it's in code how he has to follow it.
Yeah. Because Irv explained that to us, and I don't remember all about it, but I think the code explains how he has to do that, and he can't do it once a year.
All right, thanks.
Probably something the legislature should fix.
Yeah, probably, maybe, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Next item is in the matter of pledging. Did we vote on that? Okay, I want to make sure. We get to talking and sometimes I forget. Next item is in the matter of pledging of temporary letters of credit by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Next item is the employment of Teresa Maynard. This comes from Sean Hammers, the Cabell County prosecutor, would like to hire her as a full-time assistant prosecutor.
Okay.
And I'm
Yeah.
assuming he has the money to do that because he's lost several
He
recently.
has, right.
Yeah, I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have a letter from Chuck Zirkle about the employment of David Zirkle, spelled with an I instead of an E,
Yeah, he spells his name wrong.
as a part-time security officer.
He just
So
retired
who?
from confinement. He just left home confinement and retired. He's just gonna have to go to court.
Oh, okay.
I'll second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have the employment of Amanda Cheyenne Manning per diem EMT, and Krista Lee Barley, who I understand has declined. So we're just,
Respectfully declined.
respectfully.
I'm not doing real good here. Good.
So we'll just be voting on Amanda Cheyenne Manning as a per diem EMT.
So moved.
Motion- Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have a requisition payment on the Hadco Park, project number 1, series 2014, in the amount of $17,748. That's the TIFs.
So moved.
So moved. Oh,
I'll move.
second.
Motion's been made, it's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no. Motion carries. Next, we have county budget revision number 4. Beth?
This is the county clerk, moving some money around in her elections budget. Sure.
So moved.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Has been
Second.
seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. And next, we have a resolution of state budget revision number 5.
This is law enforcement, reimbursement, money going into the sheriff's, salary and overtime, actually FICA retirement overtime line items in the amount of $143,832.
That's where we're working those contracts for like AEP sheets, people like that. It's just it's a wash, comes in, goes out.
Okay. What's your pleasure?
Good for you. Yes, move.
Second. Yes.
Those are interesting motions and seconds. I'll have to say that for you. You are getting creative here. The motion's been made. It has been seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is to move into executive session with our attorneys to discuss the opioid litigation. And we need a motion to do. Double County Commission is back in session. There was no action taken in the executive session, so we'll move on to finish our agenda. We need to place on record minutes to be recorded, Pea Ridge PSD regular board meeting, October 12th, 2020. Salt Rock Water PSD regular board meeting, October 6th, 2020. Other documents to be recorded, Pea Ridge PSD Manager's Report, September 2020. Resolution of the Pea Ridge PSD approving invoices relating to pre-construction and other services for the proposed sewer project and authorizing payment thereof. Pea Ridge PSD payroll check registers 10/01/20 through 10/31/20. P Ridge PSD vendor invoice report, 10/26/20. P Ridge PSD vendor invoice report, 11/04/20. P Ridge PSD liability forecast, 11/05/20. P Ridge PSD activity trial balance sewer fund beginning year 2021. Letter from Comcast with price changes. Culloden Volunteer Fire Department report for period beginning July 1, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020. Monthly statement of the assessor, Cabell County, West Virginia, for the month of November 2020. Okay.
That's a lot.
So moved.
Motion's been made to approve. I'll second that motion. Is there any discussion?
Well,
Hearing-
I forgot, I had my phone on mute, yes. Yes.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Are there any commissioners' representation reports to be given today?
I'd like to compliment the president of the commission for single-handedly taking care of the meeting room and all those in attendance.
We had such a big crowd today.
I second that.
It took a lot of crowd control.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, do we have anything for the good and welfare of Cabell County?
I don't know when I could bring this up, but, we got a letter from the chief judge about some space needed. Do we need to talk about that at some point, somewhere?
Well, at some point, I think Beth and we need to see if we have any space first. I'm not sure where we would put anybody. I was
It's
kind
a new
of,
hire.
I
We're
was-
gonna have to go somewhere.
well, I was kind of taken aback that you would hire somebody when you didn't have any space for them. That kind of
What's gonna
surprised
be-
me in the beginning.
Supreme Court provided, like the Supreme Court sent them here.
Well, anyhow, we need to see what's going on in the building, and we'll leave that up to Beth, and maybe Chad will work with you on that, see if there's any space available.
I know that Jonna hasn't been working here, maybe the person could work in her office.
Well, see what you can come up with, and
I don't-
we'll go from there.
Jonna hasn't been here in months, and she's,
And I don't think that she's supposed, I had seen her, and I don't think that she's supposed to be back there.
yeah, so maybe we could do that till spring and then figure something else out, I don't know.
Well, we'll let you
Yeah,
work
we
on
just
that.
got time to something. Fine with me, I mean, yeah, as long as we get them somewhere.
Huh?
Make sure that they do that same job as somebody else.
You know, one time somebody else did that to us when Bob Bailey was on the commission, and he and I walked the halls of this place. We opened every door and looked in every broom closet. It's just hard to find space. It's not here. And, you know, when you bring somebody on, you certainly ought to know where you're gonna put them.
What is the person, or what's the job they're bringing somebody in for?
What's that?
It's probation.
Oh, probation? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And probation is downstairs.
Right.
So
I
I
mean,
mean,
they know how tight it is down there.
sure.
And so I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll leave that up to you, and you all see what you can come up with and come back to us.
So that was my only idea right now was, you know, I know Jonna's not here, I don't think she's supposed to be back for a while. Put her in that office, and then maybe they could share offices if she does come back, I don't know.
At least you got partial, you know, solution.
And maybe they could figure out a way to make room in probation between now and then.
Yeah, because that's really where the person ought to be,
Sure,
not isolated from
Right.
everybody
I
else.
agree.
Right.
You know? Oh, well. Beth and Chad are gonna work on that.
Thanks.
Thank you all. Thank you for taking on the assignment. Anything else to come before the commission today? Hearing none. The meeting will adjourn as soon as we sign the necessary paperwork, which I've already done. So the meeting is adjourned.